What is up, guys? Today we're going to be doing a Sonic merch video. We actually haven't done one of these for a while. We've done a few YouTube shorts and we did unbox that Tails buildable figure a while ago. But today we're going to be going over every piece of Sonic Movie 3 merch available, at least at this point. We have all sorts of different items like these minifigures of Sonic, Knuckles, Shadow, and Eggman. We also have the larger figures as well as every single plush so far. Now, the interesting thing about this merch line is that it actually released early in the US, and I don't think that they were supposed to release it that early, but it just slipped out into certain Walmart stores and people started getting their hands on it. Before the trailer even came out or before we got a poster, we had the Shadow figure, which you can see right here, the mini version. So we had the Shadow figure, but we didn't even have his finalized design because we didn't have a trailer, we didn't have a poster, we didn't have any sort of artwork of Shadow, but yet since we had the figure, we kind of knew, we had an idea of what he would look like, right? So that was really strange, I found. The merch slipping into stores early before we even got a trailer or anything. That was just really weird. So I've been trying to get my hands on this stuff since then, and I had no luck because I bought these in Canada. Canada kind of gets things late compared to the US. So people in the US were getting their hands on these a while ago, and I was kind of left in the dust waiting for these to hit the shelves in Canada. So as soon as I did see that these were available in Canada, I definitely ran to my nearest Walmart and got my hands on all this stuff. I actually only had to go to 2 different Walmarts to pick up all of this stuff, which is pretty great. But yeah, let's start by going over some of it now. We'll have to switch to another camera angle as well so I could show off some of these items in a little more detail, we do have some other minifigures of Eggman. Doesn't want to focus on him. Like I said, we'll have to showcase him maybe using another angle. We do have Knuckles as well. An interesting thing to note is that there's no Tails minifigure. As far as I know, there's only Sonic for the movie 3 line. There's only Sonic, Shadow, Eggman, and Knuckles. But for the larger scale figures, there's no Knuckles and there is Tails. So I thought that was weird. They could only do 4 of each to start. So they kind of left Knuckles out of the larger scale figures and they left Tails out of the minifigures. Because I guess they figured, well, we already have Tails as a larger figure, so we don't need him as a minifigure. And we don't have Knuckles as a larger figure, so we need him as a minifigure. So really weird. One thing I want to say is that the detail on these is actually crazy. We'll have to showcase it when we switch to a closer shot of them. I'm going to record off of my phone to do that. But the detail and the texture on these is crazy. We'll talk more about that once we get over to these, but I just want to do a quick overview of everything first. We do have the larger figures here, and I will be ripping these open out of the box, which feels like it's a tragedy, man, because these look so cool. I mean, it's weird to see. Oh, I'm pointing the wrong direction. This is Shadow's old design. You can see here, he was just a repainted Supersonic, and then his design changed when reaching the final version. Which it's weird that they had the final version to use as a model, but they didn't use it for the packaging. They just used that end scene from Sonic 2. This artwork as well is all reused, which is really strange to me that they would do that. Of course, the logo is new. Yeah, it says Sonic there, Jack's Pacific. Really, really cool looking figure. So we will tear this open. Here is the back with all of the figures that are available: Tails, Shadow, and Eggman, with a little bio about Sonic. 22 points of articulation. The details on this guy are really awesome, though. I may have to pick up a couple of these because I am collector scum, so I would like to have a couple of them in the box, maybe just Sonic and Shadow, but for these ones I will be ripping them open, unfortunately, but that's just what we got to do for the video. We have Tails here. He also looks great. I'm not going to go over the packaging too much, just says Tails. We got him on the back there. He looks a bit funny in that picture, I gotta say. Yeah, with his bio. But he looks, in figure form, I mean, he looks pretty great. He looks a little goofy, just his expression, but he looks good. Not bad. This is honestly the best one, in my opinion. We have Shadow here. He looks really, really cool. Yep, it says Shadow, and here is his pose on the back of the box with his bio. Really nice. And to end off, of course, we have Jim Carrey. as Eggman. He looks a lot better as a larger figure compared to like the goofy little mini one, I gotta say. So Ivo Robotnik, because we will also have Gerald Robotnik. I wonder if he's gonna get a figure. That would be pretty awesome. Here is his bio on the back. Yeah, and they give you like a little option. You can like pose him this way if you'd like. But yeah, those are the figures. We're gonna, as I mentioned, we're gonna cut to a different shot and crack open those. But I did want to showcase one more thing. We don't have the larger figure. I may have to make an additional YouTube short on that. We'll have it on screen though. He's this large Sonic figure that talks and lights up, which is really cool. He has a couple of new lines of dialogue, but some of them are reused from other movies. We do have one more thing though. We have the entire line of plushes for Sonic Movie 3, including the display box, which is really cool. Got the artwork. We have a new render of Shadow, which is really nice there. The Movie 3 logo, of course. The logo again on the side, the logo on the back, and the logo on the other side. I was buying all these plushes anyways, and at the store, you know, once you leave the tray empty, they likely just throw these trays away, because once they get a fresh shipment of plushies, they come in a new tray, so they just replace the old one with the new tray, and then this ends up getting thrown out. So I figured since I was buying these anyways, I might as well snag this tray, and the employees didn't seem to care. So that's awesome. This is like a really cool display piece to have all these guys sitting in there. I may have a couple other Sonic plushes sitting in there as well, since we have some space. Let's take a closer look at these though. We of course have Sonic. He looks a little bit like a rat or like a chimpanzee, a chimpanzee rat hybrid. He looks a little funny with the big ears. The embroidery is kind of nice though. He's kind of soft, a little fuzzy. His shoes are very tiny and like goofy looking though. So that is Sonic. He's kind of a nice size. And here we have Tails. He's a little bit cuter, I gotta say. They do have a simplified Sonic the Hedgehog 3 logo on there. We may have to get a better shot of that when we switch to our phone camera. His tails are like tied together, which is kind of cool, kind of an interesting way to do the tails there. But he looks probably the best out of the entire set. He's like the cutest one, I would say. The goofiest looking one for sure is this Knuckles. Look at that face. You could just take a picture of that face and make it into a meme. He looks so hilarious, but he is like a must-have for that reason, just because he looks so derpy. I don't know, it's something about like the mouth too, and I don't know, he looks like a muskrat looking boy. And then we have Shadow, who's probably the second nicest, but he, like Sonic, he kind of just looks like a weird chimpanzee bear slash mole rat hybrid. He does have the fuzzy chest though, and he has some details on the shoes. So we're gonna go ahead and switch to our other camera, and I'll see you guys in a second. So let's take a closer look at the minifigures. You can't really, well, you can sort of, no, you can't really bend their wrists. You can move the arm around a little bit. You can, you know, make him wave, because his hand kind of is in this like waving pose. He does have this like kind of closed, semi-closed hand as well. I don't know what you would really put in his hand there, but looks a little goofy. His expression is just, you know, him smiling. You do have a bit of the fur texture on there, which is nice, or like the quill texture, I guess you could say. And I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but the paint from his eyes is kind of bleeding into his muzzle, which is a shame, but I mean, with figures so small like this, it can be hard to paint on those details. They did do a pretty good job with his shoes though, I gotta say. You have a bit of texture on the bottom there. And honestly, he looks pretty great for this small scale of a figure. So that is Sonic. We do have Knuckles here as well. He may be my favorite out of the minifigures. Just look at the detail on his boots, really, really nice. And you could just really see the texture on him. He looks great. He's doing this like grunting expression. He of course has the white line on his chest. And yeah, he just looks really nice. His knuckles, of course. And his dreads with his little tail in the back. He looks really nice. He has the purple eyes, of course. And yeah, you can make him like T-pose if you want. But yeah, he may be my favorite. I think Shadow looks really great as well. I think Knuckles is probably my favorite though, and Shadow is probably a close second. I don't really like this like mouth that they put on him. It's just like a line. I don't know, it looks a little goofy. He does have that textured feel though, similar to the other ones. And his shoes are kind of nice on the bottom. They look a little bit messy, but I mean, once you're displaying him on a shelf, you're not gonna see the bottom anyways. He basically has the same points of articulation as Sonic, can move his arms around. You can't really like bend his wrists. You can move his shoes though, so it's weird that they kind of gave him, you can move the shoes but not like his wrists, which is weird. But anyway, with this like cheap of a figure, I guess you can't complain too much because you do have a good amount of detail there. You have the red stripes, of course, on the black. His quills look really nice. And like Sonic, he does have that weird third quill for the movie, the movie version, which I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest. But yeah, that is Shadow. We do also have the funniest of the bunch, Jim Carrey as Eggman. Just look at that face, look at that face. That is perfect meme material. You have his red and black jacket. His posing is kind of like random, like you can have him in like a goofy pose like this, but other than that, it's like, what can you really, or you can have him like pointing, or I don't know, doing something like that. But otherwise, like there's not very much you can do with him, I feel. His legs like can't really be moved too much at all because the coat is blocking everything. You have the back of the jacket there, and he even has his goggles. He looks really, really funny, but like I mentioned, I think that the larger scale version looks a whole lot better. So that is the mini Jim Carrey there. Just quickly, I wanted to take a closer look at the plushes. I can't really even fit him in the shot because he's pretty big, but just to show you guys the tag with the simplified Sonic the Hedgehog 3 logo on there. Pretty cool. But yeah, these plushes are still a little derpy looking. I find it's really hard for them to nail the movie look in plush form. Okay, so here we go. Here we have Sonic in the box. We're about to claw this open with our grubby little cat paws. Anyway, yeah, as we mentioned, this is the back, whatever, it doesn't matter because we're gonna ruin this package right now. We need to see our boy Sonic, so yeah. It's a bit unfortunate, but yeah, now we're really gonna need those cat claws, because geez, how am I supposed to, there we go. Opening this up like a complete caveman, and that's just how you gotta do it sometimes. So there he is. There is Sonic. Hopefully we can get him out without breaking him. Let's try the old push and shove method, where you just push him out there. You gotta do those grunting sounds or he's not gonna come out. Okay, there you go. That worked pretty well. And the last piece of his box, Sonic, his name tag, going in the garbage. Anyway, making it seem so tragic, and it's not that crazy. So here he is. Here is Sonic. Let me try to adjust the lighting real quick so you could get a better look at him. Okay, there we go. I think that's a little bit better. You only have the lighting hitting him from one side, but better than nothing, I guess. It kind of shows the effect that he has in his eyes. It's supposed to kind of have this like glass eye look to it, where you can have him facing and looking different directions, and the glass effect on his eyes actually kind of makes his eyes look a little different depending on what angle you see them from. It's kind of interesting. His joints feel a little loose to me. I don't know. They feel like they've been lubed up, boy. I don't know what's up with that. Oh, you can actually move his fingers and make him like hold things. That is so cool. This is a really cool Sonic figure, actually. His other, oh no, you can do the same with his other hand as well. I thought maybe it'd be in a fist, but you can close his fingers and have him do a fist with both hands. I mean, this is really cool, I gotta say. Hopefully I don't break him while trying to kind of mess around with it. His shoes look really cool. It actually does have the little orange/yellow tag here. In some of the movies, I think it was yellow, and then in others it was like orange, but I love the socks. Look so detailed as well. Oh, I thought this was like a dirt smudge, but it's not. It's like a number that they, for some reason, put on the bottom of his shoe. That's kind of annoying. But I love like the texture at the bottom of his shoe. He does have these holes, which makes me wonder if they'll release some sort of like snowboard later on. Maybe that City Escape little piece of the plane that he kind of skateboards with will be part of the movie, and that'll be an accessory that can, you know, stick to the bottom of his feet.
But anyway, he looks really great. You can move his legs around. I'm trying like to move him without breaking him really. You can have him in like an awesome running pose. With the legs though, it feels like you can bend them until a certain point, and then like if I really try to shove here, it's gonna just snap right off. So you gotta be careful. He does have that third quill on his back there, which is interesting. Oh, he does have like these darker quills on the back of his head, which makes it look like they light up or something, but I know for a fact that they don't. So what's up with that? That's interesting. Okay, wow. But anyway, yeah, you can do this like running kind of effect with him. Looks a little goofy because I'm not great at posing these, but anyway, he has no base though, so he's just gonna tumble over. Let's see if we can get him to stand fairly easy though. Say we do a very dynamic pose where he's like, I don't know, he's like, hey, oh, he even has like some movement here with his, yeah, you can move the feet. That's so interesting. Wow, this is a pretty dynamic Sonic figure, I gotta say. But can I tilt him back, or is he just gonna fall over? I think he's just gonna fall over if I let him go right now. Oh, not bad, I gotta say, not bad. Here we have the little mini version that you can compare with that version. I mean, this one obviously looks worse compared to that one, but I mean, look at how small he is, right? So for the size of these, the detail is very nice, but of course that one is a lot better. So we're going to compare each of these with the mini versions, except for like Knuckles and Tails. We can't really do that, unfortunately. But anyway, I guess we'll move on to the next one here. Okay, so next we're gonna open up Tails here. He actually looks really great now that I'm seeing him all like with this lighting shining on him. His eyes are like glistening. He looks really good. But again, we're gonna go Feral Beast and just rip this open. Again, the collector side of me wants to have like a boxed version of some of these figures, but we'll see. We'll see whether or not we end up doing that. I definitely did do that for some of my other figures like Blaze. We have to have an open Blaze just chilling on our desk here, reminding us of the almighty Cat Club, but I do have a boxed version of that figure as well because I'm just a huge fan of it. Same thing for Metal Sonic 3.0. When I got this figure, I just got it to have in the box, but once I had it sitting on my desk for so long, I had to get another one because I just really wanted to open it and kind of mess around with it. So now this is another one that I have two of, one open box and one in box. So the same thing may happen for a few of these movie figures. I'm thinking Sonic, Shadow, and I don't see myself getting like another Robotnik or Tails really, but here, let's try the push and shove again. Oh no, I don't want to break him, but let's do it again, yeah! Jeez, oh, his hand is still, there's like one of those plastic tabs holding his hand in place. That's really annoying. Okay, hold on, I'll have to cut him free. Okay, and there we go, he should be okay now. This is actually kind of a not bad pose where he's just like, has his hand out kind of showing you something like, this is my latest invention, or I don't know, a piece of plastic. Anyway, oh my god, the first thing I noticed right away is how detailed his shoes are. His shoes look really, really cool, actually. Again, I love the look of the socks and his eyes, of course. Still, you know, he still has that glass eye look. Similar to the Mario movie figures that came out, also by Jakks Pacific. They also went for this movie look, which is interesting. Like, they figured that, like, oh, well, it's a more realistic version of the character, I guess. I don't know, so, or a more detailed version, so they gave them this glass eye look. Kind of interesting. His tails do move, but I'm kind of scared to break them, to be honest. Like, I feel like they can move up and down. That's crazy. No way. Whoa, okay. Let's see how easy it is to pose him, because it may be, I feel like I'm fighting with the joints a little bit more with him, you know? And that is not a good sign, because when you start fighting with those little joints, you may snap something. So here it looks like he's like trying to hold something, but he doesn't have anything in his hands. He's like really gripping onto something. But can I do the same thing? I can move his fingers sort of, but I don't think, yeah, he can do a fist too. Nice. Let's see, can we get him to, I don't know. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting it. See, because his tails are, maybe they have to be pointed upwards, kind of. I don't know. It's a little bit harder to get him to stand, it feels, because his tails are so weighty. Like you really, I feel like you really have to have him like leaning forward, because even when you do that, this is kind of what happens. We'll have him pose like he's like telling Sonic about something crazy that happened, I don't know. But yeah, the tails, I don't know. How am I going to pose these tails in a way that will actually allow him to stand? Like he just keeps falling back because of the weight of his tails. That's interesting. Can we have them like, maybe they could be used to kind of assist him, kind of act as a stand almost. I'm not sure about this one. I actually like the figure because look at how dynamic he is. You can have him in so many awesome poses and the details are really nice. Like you could see all the fur and it just looks really good, but there's something up like with his feet. Can I move his legs back? Maybe that'll make it a little easier. I don't know. Oh, I think his like foot, I think his leg was bent in a weird way. Maybe now that'll help. Let's see. No. I can't get him to stand. Okay, so we finally got him standing here in this like hilarious pose. He's like, please, let me tell you about my plan, please. You kind of have to use his tails as like a stand kind of to help him stand up, because otherwise they're just gonna weigh him down. And yeah, it's just really, really hard to get him to stand otherwise. I don't know, they kind of have to be like almost acting as a base to help him stand up. Even here, like, there we go. I mean, he starts to kind of look too hunched over though, when you have him in like a certain pose. But anyway, that is Tails back there. I guess we're just gonna go with this pose where he's just kind of looks like he's rooting you on from the sidelines, right? Try not to mess with him too much or he's gonna fall over. The only figure we can kind of compare him with is Knuckles. Here we have Knuckles. As I mentioned, we kind of showed him off before. He's pretty detailed. Obviously much smaller than Tails. As you can see, he's like way too small to kind of like be in line with these other guys, but hopefully we'll get a bigger Knuckles figure soon to kind of be in scale with the Sonic and Tails. But for now we got mini Knuckles. Okay, and now we have Shadow. As soon as I put this one on my desk, no lie, I'm not making this up, guys. I started hearing sirens outside, so they must know that we have Project Shadow and they're trying to steal him from us, but we gotta get him first. We gotta break him out of here, guys. We gotta break him out. Get rid of his little name tag. And then we do the slam. Oh, another one that's also has this like plastic piece. I don't think the Sonic one had that. Either that or we like broke through it somehow. We were too aggressive. And I just cut him free and he hit the floor. So we have the ultimate life form himself, posing like he's ready to fight, or posing like he's rehearsing Shakespeare in the park. To be or not to be. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get him in, well, here. Something's up with their shoes. Like, I'm not used to having like posable like feet like this, so I'm like struggling hard to pose these. To someone who like messes around with action figures a lot, they're like, what do you mean? This is awesome. You got all these like points of articulation. But I'm just like struggling hard because there's too many points of articulation, man. I don't know which one's like messed up. Clearly, if you don't stand him up correctly, oh, I was expecting him to fall there, but he doesn't exactly highlight my point. You can try to get him in an awesome pose, but if you have one of the joints like slightly off, he's just going to slip and fall over. They're very top heavy, of course. At least that's kind of what it feels like. Maybe not, because you can also move the head around. Like he has like a neck kind of, so you can like, if his head is making him lean backwards, you can kind of like tilt the head forward to give him some weight there. It all starts with this. A miniature version of me containing the ultimate power. Comparing the smaller one with the bigger one, of course, the bigger one looks a whole lot better. As mentioned, the small one does look pretty great as well, though. I'm not a fan of his like mouth, as I mentioned, and as I also mentioned, his shoes kind of are lacking some of the detail. I mean, they look pretty good here. I for some reason expected a little bit more, but they look pretty cool. I mean, look at this. Look at this shoe. Pretty awesome. Now he just looks like he's holding nothing. He's like, let me take those groceries in for you, please. Now he looks like he's trying to have a conversation with someone. Just have like a debate. Well, you see, I'm trying to destroy the world because the world was bad to me. And then Sonic's like, I'm just trying to fight ya. I don't know why he sounds like an oldies guy. I'm just trying to fight ya, see? Now we're talking business. I don't know. I don't know what this situation is. Anyway, I'll put them both in like fighting poses because that's what the movie's all about, huh? Sonic versus Shadow, the battle of the century. Really cool to see them next to each other though, of course, similar height. Shadow is a little bit taller than Sonic, but when you put them side by side like this, they look really, really nice together. So then we have, yeah, the random mini one and the mini Sonic for comparison there. Really cool figures, I gotta say. These are some of the coolest Sonic figures I've seen in a long time. I'm actually really, really, really impressed with these. I'm hoping that they do some more characters. It would be great to see Knuckles. And then maybe we'll get that Gerald Robotnik, who knows? And speaking of Robotnik, we have him right here, along with his strange miniature version. So let's go ahead, crack this one open. Oh, that one was actually pretty clean. There we go. And then we're gonna do the old push and shove. Oh, that was also pretty clean. Oh, and nothing to hold him back. That was a lot easier. Oh, I don't know why is he doing like, yo, what's up? I'm cool, Robotnik. You can't pose my fingers, so I'm just stuck like this. But oh no, is he gonna have like a cringy joke in the movie where he's like, I'm cool, Jim Carrey. I flossed in the last movie. What am I gonna do in this movie? Maybe I've got some Riz. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, he's got some he's got some interesting points of articulation. Can move his boots up and down. I feel like he's gonna be the easiest to pose out of all of them because he's not like this crazy bulky hedgehog, you know? He's just Jim Carrey. His face looks kind of funny, like it looks a little goofy, but it looks accurate to Jim Carrey, I guess. Bald Jim Carrey with a big stash, and he's got the goggles too, really cool. Love the jacket. This is like, I don't know, thinner like rubber. It's interesting, like it goes from plastic to then like this cape part is rubber so that it could be flexible. I actually like that a whole lot. Obviously this version is way better than the mini version, but for a miniature Jim Carrey figure, I mean, they did a pretty good job with this. I gotta say, I can't complain too much. I mean, maybe we should have him like here with his weird dad. I don't know what to call him. Let's see, can he hold his weird son? Yeah, there we go. I might have to just pose him on my desk just like this because it's too hilarious. Oh my god. Anyway, those are the Sonic Movie 3 figures. Pretty great, to be honest. Really great line so far. We have the gang back there cheering on whatever's going on over here. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section down below if you'd like to see more Sonic merch videos in the future. At the time when I planned on doing this video, I thought, yeah, we've got basically every Sonic Movie 3 item so far. As I mentioned, we're missing that giant talking Sonic figure. But just today, as I was filming this video, I'll put it on screen, they announced this, a Shadow plush. Like a big boy Shadow plush for Sonic Movie 3. It's kind of to go alongside with, I think it was for Sonic Movie 2, they did a Sonic one, but he looked really creepy. The Shadow one actually looks really cool, so I'd actually be willing to grab that, and maybe I'll do a YouTube short on it. Let me know if you'd like to see that in the comment section down below. And let me know if you enjoyed this Sonic merch video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and comment down below and subscribe to your boy. As always, we've recently set our brand new goal for 50,000 subscribers. And once we hit that mark, I have some crazy surprises planned. So you guys are not gonna wanna miss it. You're definitely gonna wanna be here once we hit that mark. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace, 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 peace.